Grace and peace. Good morning, Kingdom people. This is Terrence Frederick of the Kingdom Media Foundation giving you a Kingdom salute. Good morning, good morning. I just want to come on here real quick and talk to you about judgment, about the fact that we're all going to be judged. We're all going to stand before the Lord and have to give an account for the things that He has given us, the space that He has given us, the grace that He has given us, and we're going to have to give an account for the measure of grace that He has given us. And I want to encourage you to do well so that He can say, well done. Do well so He can say, well done, and be faithful. So do well and be faithful. Being faithful means to take what He has given you. Don't just give Him back what He's given you, but give Him more than what He's given you. Expand on it, expound on it, develop it. You know, like the parable of the talents, bring back more, invest in it, and bring Him back more. So do well and be faithful so that He can say, well done, my good and faithful, and then be a servant. Have a servant's heart. We know that we're sons. We know our relationship with Him is sonship, but we should have, though we have an identity as sons, we should have a heart of a servant, and that we would work in His work and complete our work until the day that He returns. So do well, be faithful, and have a servant's heart. And now, servant's heart doesn't just mean to be a slave. Anything somebody tells you to do, you need to go and run and do that, because that's not being focused. But what we have to do is we have to serve with the gifts, abilities, and with the responsibilities that He has given us, that we must serve. Now, a lot of times when I talk about service, I talk about serving in the church. I talk about ministry gifts and leadership and all that. But if we have the responsibility to be parents, to be fathers, to be mothers, to hold down responsibilities of other people, then we need to prioritize what is most important. How in the world are you going to go and reach out to the whole world to save them? And the people in your own family have not been reached. And I've learned this from personal experience, that it's very detrimental that you invest all your time and energy in people and you replace your children with people who don't have any kind of loyalty or longevity or any kind of long-term connection to you, just based on what they can get from you when you have your own children that were raised up in your house, your own children that, that had share your blood, that you're not spending time with. God forbid we go out and reach out to all these other people and we don't spend time investing in our own children. That is a shame. So be faithful, do well, be faithful, and have a servant's heart, because we want Him to say, well done. And when I say do well, that's important, because it's not just about what we think. I love to think. I love to think on things. I like to analyze things. But at the end of the day, it's not just what we think, but it's what we do. It's what we do. So it's both. We have to think on those thoughts that are pure, think on those thoughts that are holy or of good report, all those things. But we also need to do well. We have to do the right things. And if you have the Spirit of God in you and you're not doing right, He will make sure that He challenges you, He corrects you, He rebukes you, and He'll put you in the right place where you'll be confronted with yourself so that you would do right. So understand this, that if the Spirit of God is in you, He will lead you and guide you into all truth. He will lead you into the wilderness. He'll lead you into turmoil. He won't tempt you, but He'll lead you to a place where you will be tempted so that He could purify and purge His work and make you a vessel of honor and not of dishonor, where you're going to have to constantly choose dishonor in order to be dishonorable. But the Spirit has taken responsibility over you to make you honorable. And so the process of making a dishonorable vessel honorable is not fun. It's not all joy. But we need to count it all joy because he's producing something in us that would be glorious, that would make his name glorious in the earth, and that would also bring glory to our name, bring glory to our reputation, bring glory to our legacy. So you want to hear those words whenever you stand before Christ. You want to hear, well done. We don't want to hear, well, you believe so you can come on in, but you didn't do nothing. You didn't do anything that was noteworthy. You didn't hold down any standard. You didn't bring anybody to me. Your existence really, no one recognized you but me. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear him say, just come on in because you confess my name and you believe. But you want to have some works. You want to have some efforts. You want to have some trophies. You want to have some glory on you. Yeah, we all have sin, but we can't stay in that state of meditating on our sins and meditating on our shortcomings and meditating on things we can't do right. We need to be in a place where we're like Paul, hey, I'm going to boast in the Lord. So we have to do things to make a boast in the Lord, which is why I always encourage projects, productivity. Um, I encourage things that would bring about a boast, that would magnify or multiply our voice in the earth. But even if you don't do a project, even if you don't solve a riddle or a puzzle, even if you don't, bring about some new invention in the earth, even if you don't do any of that, do right with people, and learn from your mistakes and become better, evolve, change, unveil that glory. Be more glorious than you were last year. Be more glorious than you were last week. Get deeper. Become more wise. Become more astute. Become more brilliant. To become more faithful. Become more responsible. Be a better steward. Excel. Become a better administrator. Become a better orator. Wherever we are, and this is not to dog where we are because we shouldn't despise small beginnings, but at the same time, we should be aspiring to be like him and to constantly evolve and change and go from glory to glory. So, with that being said, I encourage you, go for that goal. When Paul says, I press toward the prize. I'm pressing. So let's press toward the prize. He is the prize, to be conformed into his image and likeness, to see him as he is and to be like him, being transformed by the renewing of our mind, by making our mind new, by thinking on things that are higher and not things that are lower, by thinking king, as we like to say, thinking kingdom, by recognizing that I'm a king and I'm a priest and I have a domain and a sphere, and I'm going to have to give an account for everything within my sphere, but everything within my control and in my jurisdiction, I want to bring glory to him. I want to bring glory to Yah. I want to elevate his name in the earth. So these things are not done. When we look at movies, we look at the highlights of people's lives that are